Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Sober School, where you can always find experience, strength, and hope. My name is Drew. I'm an alcoholic through and through. We want to welcome you to this platform here today, regardless of what your addiction may be. You are absolutely welcome here. We support your pathway to recovery. And whichever pathways you choose, well, we are here to help. We definitely want to make sure that it works for you. If you're watching this through our Recovery Classroom Facebook group page, this is a private group, and we want to welcome you here. We also want to encourage you to share your own experience, strength, and hope, and your own words of wisdom. You never know who needs to hear what it is you might have to say. And it could just change someone's life, including your own. Real quick, I want to give a special thank you to those of you who made it down to the Crosstalk meeting last night. That meeting that really does something for my soul, it does something for my heart. It always lifts me up, and even when I'm having a rough day, that meeting just does something for me. So if you're local to the area, if you're even within an hour or two driving distance, I encourage you, get down and check out that Crosstalk meeting on Friday night. It's unlike any meeting you've ever been to, and I promise you, you'll be walking out of there with a smile on your face and a little bit of hope in your heart for sure. So also, my sponsor came back into the state last night, and today will be the first day I get to see him in 2 years, a little over 2 years. We've talked many times over the phone, but I pray for this area today, because between me and him and then the guys we've been running around with, we're going to be on fire today. So we're going to be on fire. Speaking of being on fire, yesterday I talked about change and you know how it can be difficult to deal with sometimes. And you know, you may be changing jobs, you may be changing your residence, you may be changing a career or whatever, and sure, that change can create a lot of apprehension, a lot of anxiety, even depression. No question about that. But you know, you may be facing, you may have gotten some bad news from the doctor, and the doctor saying, hey, you need to quit drinking, you need to quit drugging, or else you're going to die. I was told that too myself. That can be nerve-wracking as well, and it's tough. It's tough to change. But you know, I go back and I think I was thinking this morning of a TV show that my mom used to watch, my grandparents used to watch, and yes, I'm going to date myself when I say this. Back in the 80s. It's called As the World Turns. See, I used to think As the World Turns around this guy, because I used to think the world revolved around me. I kind of got that partly right. See, the world revolves, just not around me. Matter of fact, if I try to get in the mix of there, it's going to run my ass over. And I always say it's good to be on the right track, but your ass is going to get ran over if you just sit there, right? Change is inevitable. Change is going to happen. Our bodies change every day. Our lives can change every single day. The question is, what am I doing to utilize this change that's going to take place with or without me? With or without me, whether I'm there or not. What am I going to do to use this change period of my life to better myself, to improve my position in life, to improve my mental well-being, my physical well-being? I can either let it run over me and kick my ass, which has happened many times for me, for sure, or I can say, you know what? Something's about to change, and I can't control other people, places, and things. I concede I can't control that. But you know what? I can't control how I respond to it. So I can either embrace it, or I can try to delay it and forestall it. Now, I'm not talking about just letting people walk right over you and all that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, you know, change. Circumstances are going to arise in our life where it's out of our control. You know, we've done the next right thing. We've done the next thing right. We've prayed. We've meditated. And it just seems like it's inevitable. Well, instead of fighting against it, why don't we try to fight with it, right? Instead of trying to delay it, and instead of trying to forestall it, why don't we take that first step and go with the flow? See, I heard a saying last week. A friend of mine mentioned this, made this comment to me. He said, you know, any old dead fish can float on downstream, but it takes a live one to swim upstream. And he's told me that, I was just like, oh my God, that's some good shit right there. See, I'd much rather be alive and living and trying to work to better myself and better my environment, better my surroundings, better my mental health, my physical health. I'd rather, if I'm going to be forced to change, then I want me to change for the better. I don't want me to change for the worse, because I know how bad I was. I know I'm still aware of my character defects even now, you know, and I want to try to improve those character defects, improve upon those. You know, I've made progress, yes, but I know that I can still make more. So if things are going to change, I'm going to leverage it for my own well-being. Great example, when I decided to stop drinking, I was 80 pounds overweight. And I remember thinking, this drinking thing, it's going to be a big change for me. So fuck it. Might as well go ahead and, change everything I can while I'm changing, and I embraced that change. And yeah, I made sure I got to the gym every day. I made sure I studied, textbooks and started practicing nutrition, nutritional methods, and meal plans. I learned as much as I could about exercise physiology and nutrition metabolism or energy metabolism. I tried to learn as much because I knew my life was changing anyway with my addiction, trying to come off my booze. So why not go ahead and use that same change to propel me in other areas? And lo and behold, I lost 80 pounds, became a certified personal trainer. When we went out to dinner last night, and I was able to look right at the menu, say, yeah, I can't have this, or no, I'm not going to eat that, or whatever. Things are going to happen in our lives that we just can't control. That's one of the biggest, hardest lessons for us to learn is we can't control what other people do, say, or think. Which means there are going to be situations come up in our lives that we just can't control. Instead of fighting against that, why don't you try fighting with it? Because it could very well just be God taking that next step for you, driving your vehicle to the position and to the location that He wants you at, rather than the place that we always tend to end up at whenever we're steering the vehicle. I know for me, every time I tried to get in the driver's seat, my life vehicle always ended up in the ditch. Always ended up, in a worse place than wherever I started out at. So I want to encourage you today. It's good to be on the right track, but your ass will get run over if you just sit there. When that change is inevitable, when you know things are going to happen that you just can't control, why don't you just go with it rather than trying to fight against it? Because 9 times out of 10, at least in my experience, 9 times out of 10, 9.5 times out of 10, it's always been God's way of trying to bring me to a better destination than where I'm currently at. And isn't that the goal of sobriety? Isn't that the goal of getting clean? Is to move us from where we're at currently to someplace better, someplace where we can enjoy the benefits of the life that God has given us. With that being said, I'll let you guys go. I hope you guys have an absolute kick-ass Saturday. I want to thank you guys for letting me come in and share 5 to 10 minutes of your day with you. You guys watching. This keeps me sober. It truly does, and I could not be more appreciative, so thank you. I know my family appreciates it too. If you have a topic you'd like to hear discussed, feel free to drop it in the Recovery Classroom Facebook group page. Again, that's a private group, so we maintain anonymity there, and we'll take a look at it and see what we can do. You can also email me directly, Drew, D-R-E-W, @soberschool.org. So again, I want to thank you guys for letting me come in and share this time with you every morning. This does my heart well too. And those of you at the 28-day facility that we're going to be visiting today, I can't wait to see you guys. It's going to be, you guys are in store for a treat. We have an all-star panel cast that we're bringing in today for you guys. So I'm super excited. So we'll be seeing you guys and talking to you guys shortly. So that being said, I'll let you guys go. I hope you guys are having an absolute kick-ass Saturday. Remember guys, you can't get drunk if you don't take that first drink.